Are you looking for one of the most interesting and unique saves you can do right now in Football Manager 2024? Then look no further than this Moneyball Challenge. And if you don't know what the Moneyball Challenge is, the Moneyball Challenge is derived from a film based on a true story in Major League Baseball where they tried to build a club to win whatever the biggest trophy in baseball is and do it on a shoestring budget. Now that reflects well in Football Manager, and these are the rules that you need to take on with this challenge. So the first rule is you can't go over your wage budget and you must make a profit in each transfer window. That is one of the biggest ones. You have to mask all the attributes of the players in the game and rely on your scouts and director of football to find those best players for your tactics. Now, talking of tactics, you can only keep the same tactic throughout the whole of the save. So make sure you fill up those free slots with free tactics that you know are going to work, because that is one of the biggest ones. Fourth rule is that you have to do it in one of the big 5 leagues. Now, it wouldn't be a challenge unless you're using one of the big 5 leagues. It'd be pointless doing the Moneyball Challenge in a small league because it'll be far, far too easy. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 clubs to do this challenge with right now. Coming in at 5th place is the Bundesliga pick, and it is Mainz. Mainz are a good club. They're a very solid mid-table side in the Bundesliga and perfect for this Moneyball Challenge because they are not one of the traditional German powers, and you can really get them from being the underdogs to the best team in the Bundesliga. It's a quality challenge. They've had some great players play for them in the past, like Mohamed Zidane. He was a baller. They've had legendary players and managers like Jurgen Klopp, who is now managing Liverpool and has gone on to do so many big things. Their club has got some decent stuff to start off with. The facilities are fairly decent to start off with. Excellent training, great youth, good academy coaching, always above average youth recruitment. So you've got some good solid starts to start there to try and get new gens through your academy to build them up and to sell them on. They're also got a decent stadium sponsorship as well. So you can have a look at their finances now. They've got £10 million in the bank, which is decent for a mid-table Bundesliga side and perfect for that Moneyball approach. You want to try and get this from 10 million to 100 million to 200 million and beyond, and do it with also no debt in the bank. Is an absolutely quality challenge. And their starting squad is fairly decent as well. You've got Swiss international Sylvain Widmer, who is a decent right back for a mid-table Bundesliga side. He's got plenty of experience. Udinese, Granada, Basel. The Swiss international will provide that for you. He's got almost 40 caps for Switzerland as well. Other players that you will have in your squad is the Luxembourg international and probably Luxembourg's greatest ever player, Leonardo Barrio. He's got some unbelievable stats. Got great stamina, great fitness, good bravery, great aggression, solid tackling, solid work rate. He'd be a great DM or a brilliant ball-winning midfield player in the centre of the park. And he's only 23 years of age, well, a player with stacks and stacks of potential. Other players, you've got some experience in the squad in Dominic Kor, another good holding midfield player with solid stats. Other players that will help you in the first few seasons will be Karim Asimwo. He just seems to score goals all the time. He's got 32 goals in 194 games for Mainz. He's an Austrian international, not really scored at international level, but he's perfect for a pressing type tactic. Can you take on the Moneyball Challenge? And can you make Mainz the biggest and best team in the Bundesliga? In 4th place is my Liga and Uber Eats pick, and that is FC Nantes. Now, the club were founded in 1943 and are called the Canaries. So if you're a Norwich fan, there is some synergy there. If you're not and you just love the kit, it's an absolute beauty of a kit. And they've got a good stadium, 38,000 capacity. It was built in 1984. It's in good condition. They've got good season ticket holders, and they've had some famous people play for the club as well. Didier Deschamps, Christian Carambou, and even the legendary Marcel Desailly has graced the football pitch at Nantes. Now, the club do have some good facilities for you to start off with. They've got average corporate facilities, great training, great youth, good academy, and above average youth recruitment. So you'll get those new gens for your academy, and automatically you will be able to start training them, and they've got good training facilities, and they will get better. And the players that you bring in as well will be great too because of those training facilities. Now, the club vision is to finish mid-table. Again, it's a good team to start off with. There's not high expectations, and finishing mid-table in Ligue 1 with Nantes is quite straightforward, in my opinion. Where the fun comes in this Moneyball is they've got £13 million in the bank. The board do want to build a new stadium as well. There is some debt, but it shouldn't hinder you too much. £40 million, and you're only paying 185k off a month, so there's nothing really to worry about in that situation, and it gives you the chance to build up a club from the ground level using that Moneyball technique to really push them forward and become the biggest and best team and outcompete PSG. But in the first few seasons, you will have some great players to help you along. You've got one of the best young goalkeepers in the world and on the game as well. Albon Lafont is one of the French goalkeepers that everyone's been speaking about, and he was one of the best wonder kids on Football Manager a few seasons ago. He's been at Toulouse, Fiorentina, and now at Nantes. He is a great player and a good number one to have in the first few seasons. You've got other players on loan. Emery Comer from Valencia will do a job for you at centre-back. The Swiss international is fairly decent and he's on a low wage as well. So what more could you want from a sporting perspective? Other players, his former Liverpool graduate, it is Pedro Trivela. He's one of those players, he's very techy, very good, all-round solid player. Will be a good DM or CM in Liga. And can you use that Moneyball technique and take Nantes from mid-table obscurity to being one of France's biggest and best teams? My third pick is in Serie A, and it is Sassuolo. Now, they're a club that have been in European football before. They've got legendary talisman Domenico Berardi playing for them. He just seems to get in the Italian Serie A team of the season every season, and he's just a quality player that just hasn't moved anywhere. But they're a good club to start off with. They've got some good players, as you will see. They've got a decent club vision as well. The club doesn't really have big expectations for you. They want you to become a designated Serie A side, so stay in Serie A as long as you can and then build from there, which is perfect for Moneyball because it gives you that opportunity to slowly develop the squad over time and suddenly get those players in that can fit your tactic and fit that Moneyball requirement as we spoke about at the start. Finances are good, £16 million. They do have £6 million of debt, 215k a month, but it won't affect you massively, in my opinion. I think you'll be fine with that. And the squad for Sassuolo is good. Like I said, the legendary talisman is Domenico Berardi. We all know how good this player is. He's been an FM legend for a long time. And if you watch Serie A, you will know about Domenico Berardi. He's single-handedly keeping Sassuolo in the league and is their talisman in real life. He'll be your talisman on this save as well. Other players that you can come to rely on is Andrea Piemonti, the Italian international, has one cap. He's 24 years of age and he came from Inter and has played 32 games, scored 5 goals for the club. You'll need to get a tune out of him because he's on big money. But he's another player. Him and Berardi's link up will be key in keeping you in Serie A in the first few seasons. And that you could build your team around them. One thing you will need is a goalkeeper. Consigli is decent. He's played 322 games for the club. He is a cult hero down at Sassuolo. And you will need a new one. At 36, you will need a new goalkeeper, but you will use your scouts and director of football to find you the right goalkeeper to push Sassuolo on and to make Sassuolo the best team in Serie A. In second place, and my La Liga pick is Girona. Now, if you've been under a rock this season, you would have not known that Girona are level on points with Real Madrid at the current time of making this video. That's an unbelievable surprise in itself. They're not one of the traditional powers in Spain, but they do have Pep Guardiola's brother as the chairman, so you know he's going to be cooking up some stuff. If Pep is your brother, there's going to be some good advice going on there from Pep. But Girona have got some good players that have played for them in the past and currently playing for them. Christian Stuani, the Uruguayan legend, is one of those. He is an absolutely class player. He was one of the best wonder kids back in about FM 10 or 11. He was absolutely class. The club vision is, well, again, it's another mid-table side, so perfect for Moneyball. Expectations are going to be low. You're going to have time to build up your squad and build up your Moneyball tactics for this team. Financially, yeah, the £6 million is fairly decent for a mid-table La Liga side in the bank, but the best thing is there's no debt. And I always speak about debt because debt will be a massive hindrance on your save. And if you're doing Moneyball, your aim is to build up the finances. So this is a great team to start out off with. Now, I feel like they're playing Moneyball in real life, Girona, because they have got some great players. Daley Blind, what a signing he's been. He was at Bayern Munich for 4 games and then he's on a free transfer to Girona. Everyone wrote his career off. He's having a great time in Girona and he is a solid player. Look at those stats. Only on 12 grand a week as well. 100 caps for the Dutch side. Daley Blind is a seriously underrated footballer and he's doing well at Girona. Yangel Herrera was at Manchester City and now he's at Girona. You know Manchester City do produce ballers and a 25-year-old Venezuelan is another baller to add to your list. Cheap beast. He's a good ball-winning midfield player, can play for most teams and he's going to be very good for Girona. One of Football Manager's best wonder kids about 3 or 4 seasons ago, Viktor Zandikov, is absolutely class. He is a great winger, left or right wing. Comes from Dynamo Kiev. Has already got 3 goals in 19 games for Girona and he's going to be absolutely quality out on the wing. Another player they managed to pick up, and they've picked up some great loans, is Eric Garcia. Remember him, the Barcelona Man City man, touted to be the next Gerard Piqué. He's now playing for Girona and doing better than what Barcelona are doing in real life. It's an absolute madness from Girona. They've got some great players. They're already using that Moneyball tactic. They're already great in the transfer window. Trust their scouts, trust your instincts, and take Girona to the top. My number one pick goes to a Premier League side, and the reason being is the Premier League is the hardest league to win in Football Manager if you're not one of the big six teams. Personally, it takes the longest. That's just from my experience. It's harder to win than the Liga, than the Bundesliga, any of those leagues there, Liga included as well. So I've gone for Brentford. Brentford are a club that were formed in 1889. They've got a new stadium. It's got grass and synthetic mix in very, very good condition as it being a new stadium. It isn't the biggest stadium in the Premier League, so only 17,000, which doesn't really matter because the Premier League TV money is absolute madness anyway, so you're going to get big, big money in. And they've had players play for them in the past like Dean Holsworth, Herman Hreidarsson, all legends, Sergi Canos as well. So many good ballers in the past. Their facilities are good as well. Average training, average youth, average academy, and basic youth recruitment. So they're fairly good. They're not the best, but you can upgrade them really easy because the finances you have at Brentford are very, very strong. £57 million in the bank. My first thing I would do in this save, a little helpful tip, upgrade the youth and training facilities 100% straight away. There is a debt of 48 million, but it's the Premier League. You can wipe that out in a season with, Champions League money and TV money. Don't worry about the debt. It isn't going to affect you in any way, shape or form, in my opinion. And their squad, they've got the squad to back it up as well. You will have Ivan Toney at some point. He is suspended because of stuff that happened in real life that I won't speak about. He is a good striker on Football Manager. He scores plenty of goals, but you will miss him in the first 6 months of the game. He will be back in January, February time, and he will be an absolute beast for you. He is a great player. They do this in real life. I think Brentford are playing Moneyball in real life with some of the signings that they've made. Mark Flecken, who would have thought to buy a goalkeeper like Mark Flecken? He's been decent for them in real life. He's a great goalkeeper on the game. He'll be your number one. You probably will need another number one in another couple of years' time because he isn't the greatest of goalkeepers, but he'll be good at the start. I promise you, he's good at the start. Other players they've got is Christopher Ayer. They bought him from Celtic years and years ago. He was always a solid wonder kid on FM and has been a solid player for Brentford in real life. They've done absolute bits since they've come up. They haven't gone down, haven't even looked like going down. They've had some great signings and they've sold some great players on as well, like Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa. But Kevin Schade is one that they're all ranting and raving about. They do have a perfect scouting system at Brentford, a very similar one to Brighton have, and they are one of the clubs that everyone looks up to in terms of building their club. And I think Brentford will be the best team that you can do to take on the Moneyball Challenge. Let me know in the comments below if you take any of these on and how you get on. And if you have any other recommendations for videos, do let me know in the comments because this video was suggested by one of my subscribers, and that's the sort of stuff that I love to do on my channel.